Jim. Thank you for getting up early and doing this with me.
Of course.
So, the reason that we wanted to do this and talk a little bit, I met you last year at a convention,
Yeah, I
uh,
remember that.
and I really enjoyed talking to you. You were just kind of standing there, and it's funny, you never know when you meet somebody who is going to have an amazing story or who you're going to connect with.
That's very true.
I'm really thankful that we said that initial hello.
Thank you. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you explained to me that you've had an interesting health journey, and it's not
Yeah.
maybe a typical what you think of as a health journey.
Well, I think because I thought I was healthy,
Yeah.
and then I was kind of a driven sort of a person, and I drove myself in volunteer work just about all my life, and and then there were events that took place, and everything came crashing down.
I
And
had that. I had a
pulled everything
similar
up
thing.
out.
Yeah.
Everything started to come up that was down for since my youth, and it was then that I finally realized I needed to deal with stuff,
Yeah.
emotional stuff, and but I wasn't doing that until it got to be really bad. I was in a really bad, depressed state, and that state led to a very dark place to where there were even um, suicidal ideology, ideation they call it, and that's what, between Barb and myself, I don't know that I would have known what to do about it, but I know that Barb was very helpful in helping me to see I needed to do something about it, and so I did, and finally I was able to get out of that darkness.
So when you think about mental health, a lot of people just think about therapy. That's kind of the first thing that comes to mind. Was that the first thing that you
Yeah.
started with, or was there something else that you did for?
Actually, I did do therapy, but that was something I just did not want to do. There was some stigma in my mind about it,
Yeah.
and some of it was just opening up to some person I don't know. And I think I was the kind of person that always felt like I needed to help them. So the idea of somebody trying to help me was foreign. I think I convinced myself I didn't really need that other person.
I think that's
I
pretty
had,
common with us men,
yeah,
with this gender.
I felt like I had God, and I had uh, what I knew of Him. I felt like that would be enough. But then I went ahead and tried some therapy, and it really helped a lot more than I ever thought I would, to open up with somebody else.
Was that kind of the starting point of your journey towards?
Yes, I would have to say it was.
But there's also a nutritional aspect that came into play that I think you said Barb started to help
Absolutely,
you out with.
absolutely. I would say that came down a couple years down the road, and a sister in our congregation, she realized just just by my appearance that there could be some things that I needed nutritionally that I wasn't getting.
That's an. How did she approach you? Like I
Well,
can't
she
imagine
talked to
coming up
Barb.
to somebody and
She
say, "Oh, okay,
she talked to Barb,
okay,"
and
very tactfully and well done, huh?
absolutely. And so, and Barb was telling her some of her own story,
Okay,
and so Joy was like, "Okay, I'll help you." Not so forwardly, but she thought, I think there's nutrition that could bring you better health.
nice. Had you always eaten pretty healthy, or
I thought so. I think there was a period of time there where we kind of just let that slide. I mean, but
yeah?
this came about, and I didn't realize how much nutrition I might have been missing, even just in my diet. So we started this program, uh, the 90-day way, and I think that, I don't know, I think in 3 weeks I already started to see the fog in my mental state lift.
Really, you could feel.
Yes, like opening up.
And do you think that was, what do you attribute to? Like sometimes you kind of intuitively know, I think it's this thing or that thing. Was it
Yeah.
one of the products that you can pinpoint, or is it the whole thing and just increasing your
I think it
nutrition?
might have been a combination of things because I was getting more nutrition, but I do realize it was after I did the cleanse, especially after the cleanse.
Oh,
So
the parasite
that's
cleanse.
20 days into it,
Yeah.
and I did the parasite cleanse, and I think it was after that I saw the most significant difference.
Was your therapist impressed, or did you tell?
Very,
Yeah.
very. In fact, I had actually three different, three different ones, and they were all. They could see the change, just even in my face.
Yeah, I can tell even from last year to this year, your affect and your demeanor. You seem a little bit more open. Last year, I don't know. It could be because you don't know people as much, but you were just kind of standing there.
Yeah.
And I see you interacting and around people.
Yeah, that has been part of the change, and I think that that has been a result of several things. Um, I think I restricted myself a year ago on purpose, and even though I might have still been a little to myself, I still feel more comfortable being myself.
Oh, that's a really nice
Yeah.
expression.
Yeah, and it helps that when I'm trying to interact with different ones, because interacting with people was what I always did before, and but I think I had a different face.
It's one of the greatest joys in life. I remember an old talk that I used to listen to, and there's this guy. He spent a lot of time working on machines.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you've heard it, but this guy's working on machines all the time. And then he realized it's kind of late in life that he said he come down one morning and he was talking to all of his friends, and he says, I just realized that life is all about people, and it's not the things in the machines. Like, so from now on, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be a people's people. And then he died the next day.
Oh no,
Yeah,
bummer.
but just
I
when he
don't
was
think I've
figuring
heard that.
out, yeah, it was a story from New York. But yeah, but it was a good lesson. I remember hearing that kind of young, and just it affected me because it's like there's a lot of stuff in this world, but life really is about interacting,
Mm-hmm.
connecting with other people.
And I think my connection always has been um, my curiosity in helping other people. But then I had to turn around and accept that from others. I had to let people in, I guess,
Yeah,
is the term. And, you know, that changes things.
but once you're healthy, now you can get back to helping
Yeah, I
people.
think so. I think that I'm going to be able to do that more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you at now?
Um,
Your health journey and
well, right now I feel the best I've ever felt. I feel like there's a lot more that I can do in helping others with Barb. I feel like we're more of a team on assisting other people with their health,
yeah.
and we always do things as a couple anyway, and so this just feels like a natural uh, blend for us.
What about your ministry? How has regaining your health impacted getting back to some of that?
Yes, yeah, I feel well. I love it. I've never really lost my love for the ministry. I probably will have more empathy and compassion for people and their stories or what they're going through. I think I might have taken some of it for granted
Hmm.
that there's an easy answer, sort of. Uh, prayer, meditation, Bible study, and community. But I'm learning that there's a lot more to that. You know, being an advocate for someone who's suffering mentally is an important part of it.
Was Barb your advocate?
She sure was.
It's so helpful to have a good
and
mate.
and I think it, even though there might have been things she didn't quite understand, she knew me and she knew how to be understanding, and she never forced anything on me as far as something that we could try. I think she knew enough to research it, let's talk about it, and she always left it to be in my court, and that helped a lot.
Well, I love your steadiness and your groundedness.
I definitely feel more grounded.
But it's nice.
Yeah.
It's like we all want to help others, but it's like at some point, yesterday, Dave was giving a story about how he just let the stress eat him
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
and then yeah, it's like if you don't take
It's,
care of yourself, you can't help anybody in the end.
it's right, affected his health.
Yeah,
He's kind of the same cloth as far as wanting to be there to serve other people.
yeah.
And so I could resonate with that. And but I appreciate you too, Aaron. You always seem inclined toward helping other people, and I'm sure you and your wife do a lot of good for each other. You know.
We sure try, but yeah, I did something similar maybe to what you're explaining, and I just kind of burned out. I call it a burnout, or
Mm-hmm.
kind of imploded, and had to
Yeah.
dip back down and reset. The same thing with my nutrition and my well-being, and
Yeah.
I've been to some counselors, and yeah, because I got to a place where I couldn't give anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the greatest joy. I think it's the greatest joy in life to be able to give. You know,
Mm-hmm.
more happiness in giving than receiving.
That is true.
But and it stinks when you can't do it.
Well, you got to give to yourself too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I just read a scripture this morning. It says, "Pay attention to yourself."
Yeah,
So that was my daily scripture,
that's
and
excellent.
you have to.
Very good.
Well, all right. Thank you for your time, Jim.
Thank you.
I really
I
appreciate it.
appreciate